My name is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with the Internal Revenue Service. Welcome to my YouTube. I'm going to light me up here so you can see my pretty eyes. I'm a former IRS agent, teaching instructor. I've worked with the IRS for a decade. I've been doing this actually 52 years. And I am an expert in the offer and compromise. I'm an expert in tax resolution. I have my own conference. I have a 5,200 people, professionals across the United States, a tax mob called the Tax Mob, a Facebook group. And today I want to talk to you about the timeline for the IRS offer and compromise. One thing about me that's different, that's Sammy. She always wants like an appearance fee. Sammy, you're not getting an appearance fee here. So anyway, just want to go ahead and let you. There's the black cat. I mean, it could just be any worse. Let me give you the timeline for the offer and compromise. So when you fill out an offer and compromise, it goes into a unit, and it can be in wherever you send it. Everyone sends it to different places. You have a person who first of all reviews it. That usually takes about a month for IRS to 6 weeks to get back, say we have it, they're working on it. What are they doing? They're pulling up and make sure your transcripts are up to date. They want to make sure you're current on your estimate payments or withholding. They're doing all this preliminary work. They want to make sure the offer, in fact, is legal. That is, you completed the document itself and signatures are in their place, and they want to make sure the payment is in there. That allows the IRS to go ahead and actually process the offer. Depending on the season and time, how many offers are in there, it could take anywhere from a month to 2 months. There's no telling, but that's about a time frame. From there, once they find that it's acceptable, from that point it goes to the desk of the person, the offer and compromise examiner. What's that person going to do? Well, depending on what the dollar amount is and what's going on with the case, a different person will be assigned the case. Low dollar cases can go to just regular offer examiners. The high dollar cases are going to revenue officers, and they go ahead and they do the due diligence according to the dollar amount and what they see. Like if I look at an offer, I've been doing this a long time, I will see the offer much different than anywhere else. Some of the things I'm looking at, for instance, is I'm looking at your age, your past income, what you make the last 3 years, what do you do for a living, where did you go to school. I'm getting a general sense at 30,000 feet about who you are. I need to know that before I work the case. I want to make sure this wasn't just set up for a one and done. In other words, here's what you're doing today. You set your case up for the offer. You're getting in and out. And I'm trying to make sure that's not happening. I'm going to look at your bank statements really carefully. Like I said, I'm going to look at your past tax returns. I want to see, what your maybe. I may even check Facebook. I'm not supposed to. Maybe check Instagram. Not supposed to. I may check your credit report. I may check where you charge things at. I may pull. There's just so many things I can do on this computer. I'm not going to tell you all of them, but I just can tell you that IRS has a plethora of tools that they can really check this offer and compromise out. But I want to make sure it's real. The big thing is I'm going to drill down on two things. I'm going to drill down on your income and expenses. That's big. Is your income the same for the last year? Has it fluctuated? Am I going to take an average over 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years? Should I go back 3 years and use an income average? And for your expenses, I'm really got to follow the national standards. If you're not familiar with the national standards, don't even bother filing an offer and compromise. You're wasting your time. The IRS national standards is set up by the Department of Labor, and it says how much you can spend in certain categories, such as food and clothing, housing and utilities, car expenses, and car payments. That's set up by the Department of Labor. IRS, the courts just use them, the trustee uses them. So they then look and verify to make sure you're writing a check for everything there, and they can give you credit for that. That process can take at least 2 months. It all depends if they have to send verifying letters out for things. So Generally, in about another, from the time they get it to the time they're into the case, it's usually 4 months. Right now, it could be more. Once again, it all depends how many offers are in the queue, how many they can dish around, how many people can work them, whether it's high dollar, low dollar. Generally, within 6 months, you should be getting a letter back letting them know what the initial their thought was on that, whether they're going to accept it, deny it. But remember, you always have your appeal right. If your offer did not get accepted, fix what's wrong and then send it back in after you fix what's wrong. You should not be filling an offer and compromise out yourself. Get a lot of people, they're real cocky. Well, I can do this, I can do that. Your offer's usually going to get bounced back. You know, they made offers tough. They really did. I don't say that cockily that you can't get one through. 13,000 were accepted last year. It's generally hard to get an offer and compromise through to the IRS. You really have to know what you're doing. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of technical work, due diligence work. Luckily, we have a team of former agents, revenue officers who really know what we're doing in the offer and compromise field. So anyway, that is the procedure for the offer and compromise, the timeline. Those are the things that you really need to know. Remember, it's a legal document between you and the IRS. It's a contract with the Department of Treasury. So they're going to look over it real well. And another thing you need to make sure, certain dollar amounts, larger cases, are signed off by the district counsel's office of IRS. Usually takes 4 signatures to approve an offer and compromise. Somewhere down the road, people have to look at it. And if you don't keep current for 5 years after the offer, IRS can keep the money, send it back to the field. They'll just give you credit for the payment made and you start all over again. You need me, you know where to get a hold of me. I'm available for representation. I am a national expert. Please give me a subscription. Thank you.